Okay, I just got back from Lowe's. I got my aluminum piece. It's 1/8 inch thick, and it's 1 inch wide exactly, and it's 48 inches long, which is more than enough than what I need. Put that down. And then I got my fasteners. I got my screws, my lock nuts, washers, and these are what they call finishing caps. You just fold it over and snap this little cap on. It gives it a little button look. I'm trying to pick up this button look on the fender here. That button look around, those will be on the top where it'll be seen. And the plan is we're going to cut a piece of aluminum strip. This is 1 inch wide perfectly, so we're going to cut an aluminum strip 14 inches wide, and we're going to glue it in with this Loctite. Glue it in with that, and then eventually we'll drill a hole here and put a screw in that one, and a screw in this one. And then when I make my L's, then we put a couple more screws and caps on these. These won't have caps on them because this is going to eventually be my bicycle pump holder. Make it into something, because the fender is going to be stiff enough to hold it with all this aluminum on it. Because you're going to have aluminum all the way on the bottom and some up on the top. Anyway, and the alcohol, taking off the logos worked with a little bit of steel wool. I'm not going to worry about this because it's going to get covered anyway. So this is basically ready to go. So all I need to do now is cut my strip and cut my other 2 strips for my L's for the brackets for the front, and then file them and shape them and buff them and sand them and clean them up. They're going to look good when it's done. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Okay, well, I got all my aluminum pieces cut now. This is the one that's 15 inches long, and that one, dropped the other ones. That one's going to go down on the bottom side of the fender, on the inside of the fender, like so. And then on the top, I've got my little assistant here. Then on the top, I have 2 pieces. These are going to be the brackets. This is my bend line right there. And when we bend it, this is the part that's going to mount into here. Now it's going to be a little bit higher than this, and that's fine. And what I'll do is just going to put it here. We're going to bend it, and we're going to drill the hole, and it's going to stick out above this. That's fine. I'll just draw a line on it, and then I'll cut it off later. And then on the front of it, we're going to kind of put a taper on that, make it look kind of cool, and then do the edges, the sides of it, and then polish it up and stuff. It's going to look really nice. And then with the little button finishing screw, is going to look great. And then this one is the one that goes in the back. The way I designed this one, so it's going to sit that far back. That way I can put a screw through here too, and then I can put a screw in this end too. So the screws are going to go through this, through the one down underneath. So that should give it a lot of stability. Plus it's going to have 2 screws here and 2 screws in the front. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws holding this thing to this piece here. So I think to this piece here down underneath. So I think that's gonna work real well, and that way I can use this for my bicycle pump. So that's where we're at the moment. Okay, I got the front bracket and the rear bracket made up. I just gotta trim this off a little bit here, trim this off. You know, I drew the lines on it, and I'm gonna shape this a little bit, and then file the edges down this on, you know, on the edges, file them down in an angle on these over here, and shape it, sand it, steel wool it, buff it up, and that's basically gonna be it right there. I don't have the piece underneath yet, so it's the next step is to go ahead and glue that piece in, and then it's a matter of drilling holes. I'll be taking the tire off to do that. If I decide to drill on here, I may take it off and drill it on, you know, on the bike. I mean, separately. But yeah, I think it's going to work out just fine. It's good and sturdy already. And with that other piece underneath it, I could probably put a water bottle on it if I want to. But I'm going to put my my air pump, I'm going to put it up here and strap it down. It's got two little places for cinch straps, so I think it's going to work out really cool. Alright, so next up is to put that long piece in here and drill some holes. So we're going to glue that in next with this power grab Loctite. And by the way, using a heat gun on its highest setting, you know, just leave it on there for about 2 minutes and bend it, and that way I didn't get any cracks or anything, and it's good and sturdy, so that worked out just fine. So I just need to take these off now and shape them and get them ready. So I'll be doing that, and I'll be gluing this into place, and then once this is all glued, and then I can start marking out my holes. Okay, I got the fender pretty much exactly the way I want it. Exactly, it's located perfectly. I got the piece glued up underneath. That's all done. So now I'm trying to, I put some tape on it to hold it in place so it doesn't move on me. So now what I want to do is locate my holes. So I'm going to measure the distance from here to the end, divide that by 2, and we'll put that hole, we'll mark that hole exactly center. And on the back side over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take that distance here to here, divide it by 2, and put a hole there. And then we're going to mark a hole here. So we're going to mark it here, here, and here. And then we're going to take it off, and I'm going to take the brackets off, and I'm just going to bench drill them. I'm going to drill them on the bench, and then I'm going to put this one back on and line up this hole and get this hole drilled. Once you get this hole drilled and get this hole drilled, then I can put them, assemble it on the bench, and I can drill this hole a lot easier on the bench than trying to get in here and drill it. So I'm going to build the whole fender on the bench, basically, and then put it on the bike. So that's where we're at. I did make a small miscalculation on the length of my screw. They're too long. I need 1/2 inchers, and I got 1 inch. The 1 inch will work fine up here, but the 1/2 inch, I need them for down in here because it's closer to the tire. So that's the next step. Okay, the front fender is all mounted. All the hardware is on. All the bugs are worked out of it. I took it for a ride. There's some puddles out there. Someone's draining a pool or something, so I just went right through it. And I didn't get any water on my back. I got just a little bit of water on my foot, but not much. You can see the bike pumps up there now, so that serves as a bicycle pump holder, which is kind of cool looking. I like it. Okay, conclusions. I'm going to give you some cost comparisons here. The RadRover fenders are $67 or $66 to have them delivered for the pair, and that's the shorties. But the problem with the RadRover fenders for me is because they were rounded a little bit in the back, and I can't use the seat post mount because I got that seat all the way down to the frame because I'm a short person. So, and I wanted the short fenders, and I wanted something a little different. So I looked on the internet and I found these. These are $31 for the pair. So there's a big half of 50% savings right there. But when it came to the front, because I didn't want to mount it as a mud guard on the down tube fork, or the down tube on the frame, right here where the water bottle is, I wanted to mount it on the fork. I had to go out and spend money on hardware. What really cost the most was aluminum. Altogether, I think I spent like close to 20 bucks for everything I needed to do the front fender. So the savings are like maybe 10 bucks. No real significant savings there, other than the fact that I had points with Amazon, so the fenders cost me nothing. And I had a gift certificate for Lowe's, and all the hardware cost me nothing. So these fenders cost me $0. Now if I would have had points with RadRover, if I could use those points there, I would have bought the RadRover fenders and try to figure out how to do the back. I'm sure you probably could do the back similar to this, but it might be more difficult. Now the front fender was fairly difficult. I wouldn't recommend someone to do this that's not mechanically inclined. It's a little bit difficult, but it is doable. It can be done. Some of you may want to just mount it as a mud guard. If you're happy with that, then you can get away with it that way. But personally, if I could get those RadRover fenders to fit my bike, the shorties, you know, I would rather have put those on. But I kind of like this design. I like this look. It's different. So if I put two RadRovers next to each other that had shorty fenders, mine would stick out a little bit more because it looks different. That's the whole thing I'm going for. So the only thing that's left now is just pull the fenders and do the painting and stuff. And once I get them all painted up and all back on, I'll do another video and show you the result of that. But other than that, I'm done.